Hi guys, welcome. We're going to talk a little bit about braking today. Some of us are left foot brakers and some of the probably more traditional right footers. There's definitely no right or wrong, it's certainly a personal preference, and guys are definitely able to go fast using both methods. But what we're going to do today is have a look at the art of using both feet to stabilise the car during the braking phase. And obviously this isn't related to GT or Formula style cars or cars with a sequential gearbox. Obviously it's a no-brainer to use left foot for the braking, as you've always got a foot on the gas and a foot on the brake, as you can see here, especially in the wet. There's no movement of the feet, so there's no time lost, and you can immediately react to what's happening on the road. We are definitely talking about older style Formula cars or retro cars with a H-pattern gearbox like you see here at Bathurst. Obviously heel and towing and stabilising the car with our left foot, and obviously inherently easier to trail brake as well with the left foot. Here we are at Winton in Trans Am mod on Assetto Corsa through the very twisty middle section of the Winton Raceway. We can see we'll use the left foot to stabilise the car when you know there is a series of corners where you're not going to be changing gears. So it does take a lot of track knowledge, of course, to know exactly when and where you're going to be changing gears. This method works really well, so if you know you've got to be in third gear or fourth gear, whatever it needs to be, through a series of corners, you know they're coming up, we can get that left foot ready to go, just to stabilise the car. And for me, this style of driving comes from doing a lot of rally driving back in the day, where you're on and off throttle and brake obviously quite a lot, especially driving, again, the old Group B type cars. Very important to be able to stabilise the car through the corners, and the easiest way to do that is to be able to use your left foot to brake and then go back in the clutch for changing the gears. And obviously it takes time, but as your track knowledge gets better and you get more confident with the technique, it can certainly save you those valuable tenths and seconds out on the track. And what I like to do within each sim is to increase the brake sensitivity, because I find that I don't have the same pressure with my right foot as I do with my left foot when I'm trying to heel and toe. So in Assetto Corsa, for example, I'll bring the end range of the slider back down a little bit to probably 70%, just to increase that sensitivity. And then conversely, in a sim like AMS2, in their control configuration, I'll go in and increase the brake sensitivity just to compensate for that lack of pressure between the right and the left foot. Always good to keep in mind this is a struggle for the professional drivers as well. It was only a couple of years ago we had a guy called Gary Jacobson who raced in the Australian V8 Supercar Championship, so our top level motorsport here in this country. He literally had to go back to driving school as he was caught between the two methods. He was traditionally a right foot braker, but wanted to improve his skill set, and just looking for that constant improvement, and wanted to try to move to left foot braking. Went back to Paul Morris's driving school, who was another ex-V8 supercar driver, and in the end of the day, you just got himself so confused and caught up between the two methods and not knowing which one to go for, went back and forward. He just became a world of pain and ended up sort of slipping out of the championship and has now gone off into the wilderness because he couldn't settle on a method. So it's definitely a huge confidence thing with the braking, and again, even within the sim world, track knowledge is really key. Like I said before, knowing your circuits back to front, knowing when and where you're going to brake and what gear you're going to be in as well, so you can then anticipate how you're going to brake, whether that's left foot, right foot, or a combination style. So a few little examples here now. Lotus 97T at Brands Hatch, heel and toe into the top of the hill. As we run down, we use the left foot just to stabilise the car, so you're working both pedals at the same time. And taking off. M1 Pro Car, AMS2, first corner at Buenos Aires. Again, just left foot just to stabilise the car there. And at the top with the big double right-hander. A little bit of throttle in for this second part. We need to hit the apex, just a little squeeze of the brake with the left foot. Just knock off a few kph and then back onto the accelerator straight away. And the big stop at the bottom of the straight in the chicane. Once we get the car slowed down and we're happy with our speed, we can just stabilise again with the left foot. Formula 3000 on R Factor 2. Again, just working both pedals at the same time. When qualifying here, so run that rev limiter out there, not worried about the engine. So just left foot at the chicane. Let's get back on the accelerator really quick. And you can use the left foot, even a little bit of a safety. Car slowed down there, a little bit of left foot just in case you run it a bit wide. Don't have to move that right foot too far. And then come out to a section like this where it's a super fast left-right kink. Again, just going to hover with the left foot. Not really expecting to use it, but if we have to, the left foot is already there, ready to go. And back in our Trans Am car, on a Assetto Corsa. Again, heel and toe. Just running the brakes out there with the right foot. Come back into a section where we're not really going to change gears too much, so back on the left foot brakes to stabilise the car, working both pedals at the same time. And there's a few low and slow corners here, don't need to change gear, so we're just going to use that left foot to stabilise the car, back under the throttle. Again, just track knowledge and confidence with the car as well. It does take time, not something that you'll learn overnight, but definitely something to work on over time. Try a different variety of cars. Obviously the Trans Am, big, heavy, slow car. A bit more time to do everything, as opposed to a retro Formula 1 car, which obviously everything happens a lot quicker. So here, across Reed Park and Philamy Park at Bathurst there, just stabilising the car with the left foot. Come in the skyline, we'll heel and toe, and then jump onto the brake with the left foot down through the S's. Once we've done our gear changes, got those out of the way. Just use the left foot to stabilise the car, a little bit of trail braking, working the throttle and the brake at the same time, and then back onto the gears for Forest Elbow. And then finally, just going to leave you with a bit of a comparison between two similar era Formula 1 cars. We're in a 91-92 era car here, which obviously semi-automatic gearbox, just left foot braking required, working the throttle and brake at the same time. In comparison, a MP4 5B, which I think is from 89 or 90, can't quite remember the year, but still a H-pattern gearbox at that stage. You can see a lot more wheel work and a lot more pedal work as well, but still, as I said, using that left foot where we can on sections of the track where we know there's no gear changes. But just an interesting comparison to see, just a couple of years apart, the different effort required to drive the same section of track. Obviously nice long trail braking zones there, whereas everything's sort of a bit more short and sharp in the H-pattern car. So I'll leave you with that, guys. So as I said, definitely something to practice the combination braking in those retro cars. As I said, not obviously a thing to worry about in sequential gearbox cars. This is definitely for the older H-pattern stuff. Won't happen overnight, but it's definitely something to have a work on, get confidence with both those feet, driving a variety of cars, and see if that works for you. But I'll leave you now with the beautiful sounds of a McLaren B10 around the Nordschleife. Thanks for watching.